2.
Testing, 1, 2.
Yes, indeed. Of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, and Trinidad. Our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, this is the Monday edition of the Corridor Transformation. Yes, indeed. And of course, your dual host, your double host, your twin host, of course, COP. I call him Dr. COP. And of course, Lennox Smith. Well, I see that others have started calling him Doctor as well. You see, it takes one to make that recognition. I suppose this is how it takes one to recognize that human beings need more efficient transportation, and therefore the vehicle was invented, the car was invented, and eventually, of course, plane and so on, and everyone is flying and all driving. Well, that being as it may, we have a bumper program for you tonight. Yes, indeed, that good times are here. But what is required, however, is that the people prepare themselves. That is critical. Preparation is critical. It is said that luck is when opportunity meets preparation. But I see it more than that. If you are prepared, then of course anything comes. I don't think it will be luck, but it will be because you would have prepared. That's a simple fact. In other words, I tell my students every day that if you are not prepared to pass your exam, you are therefore prepared to fail. One or the other. Right? So that means as it is a great privilege to have such unique heritage, 50% African. Oh, I was thinking that I had the mic down. Sorry about that, people. Once again, a pleasant good night to all and sundry. I had, yes, okay. I think that is what happened. The pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central. Once again, our friends Tobago and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, we have a bumper program for you tonight, so just stay tuned. Let me call, of course, on my co-host to give his introductions. I see that he went off stream there, so I don't know what's happening there. Brotherhood of the boat, charging high. Brotherhood of the boat, charging high. Brotherhood of the boat, charging high. All right. So it is a great privilege to have such unique heritage. 50% Africa, 50% India. I have done duty to holiday, emancipation and arrival day. Since Patel Rosak made that journey, 150 years gone already. You are not seeing my friend. Whether you're Hindu, Muslim or Christian, let's walk this land hand in hand. We could only prosper if we try. Charging high. Brotherhood of the boat. Charging high.
It looked like I fall back down the field together, yes, sir. I fall off and then go back up.
I will send back a link for you because there's some mix up here.
For those who play in ignorance, talking about true African descendant, if you want to know the truth, take a trip back to your root. And somewhere on that journey, you go see a man in a dhoti saying it prayers in front of a chandi. Then and only then you'll understand what is a cosmopolitan nation. do this at all. United we stand, divided we fall. So to always is here in Trinbego, Akokaliano Danyaho. Let us live as one under the sky. Jahaji Bhai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Bhai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Bhai, Kumaye, Zindawe, Kumaye, Zindawe, Kumaye, Zindawe, Kumaye, Zindawe,
Yes, people, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry. Trying to get back, of course, COP. I lost him a little while ago. So let me make certain that there are certain systems.
I just want to say a few words about my deep appreciation and recognition of the job that this current administration in Trinidad and Tobago is doing, and how much it means to us in the United States to have partners here in Trinidad who are as eager as we are to engage for the good of each of our peoples. Prime Minister Prasad Bisesar has just been an incredible partner. We met a few months ago in Miami at the summit. Bisesar has just been an incredible partner. We met a few months ago in Miami at the Summit of the Americas, or at the SHIELD Summit there. I met the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister Sean Sobers, and was so impressed with their vision and their strength. And I said, wow, there is a great partner for the United States. And, you know, it has saddened me over the years that I think our relationships with our friends in the Caribbean countries have not been as close as they should be. I mean, the United States and the Caribbean countries, seems to me, are united in many ways by geography, by history. There's so much that we can do together. And I really do feel like this Prime Minister here in Trinidad today is really opening the door for a new vision of U.S. Caribbean relations that nobody has ever opened before. It's been there for 60 years. So my presence here today is really a sign of recognition and respect and appreciation for that kind of partnership. And again, it's just being here in this place at this time, looking out at this view and saying, this is what the fruits of that kind of benefit can be. The SHIELD Summit there, I met the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister Sean Sobers, and was so impressed with their vision and their strength. And I said, wow, there is a great partner for the United States. And, you know, it has saddened me over the years that I think our relationships with our friends in the Caribbean countries have not been as close as they should be. I mean, the United States and the Caribbean countries, seems to me, are united in many ways by geography, by history. There's so much that we can do together. And I really do feel like this Prime Minister here in Trinidad today is really opening the door for a new vision of U.S. Caribbean relations that nobody has ever opened before. It's been there for 60 years. So my presence here today is really a sign of recognition and respect and appreciation for that kind of partnership. And again, it's just being here in this place at this time, looking out at this view and saying, this is what the fruits of that kind of benefit can be. It's not just a lot of talk about partnership, it's actual, tangible results. And that is what we're here for, right? I mean, the Prime Minister much like President Trump, campaigned on economic renewal and security renewal. And those are both really important, critical objectives for both our governments. And so we are delighted to work together. And I am here to show that both sides are reaching out their hands of friendship, and this plant is probably as concrete a symbol of that friendship and that cooperation as can possibly be imagined. But again, let me just underscore that this wouldn't be possible but for the involvement of the private sector. And I just think it's very important for all of us to recognize the vision of Pinnacle and its corporate leadership here today. This is what made America great. It's the dynamism of our private sector that has really been the motor of our economy and our great prosperity over the centuries. And I think it will be going into the future. It's not the government that has made the United States the leader of the free world. It's our dynamic private sector, and I feel very proud as an American to be represented by our colleagues from Pinnacle here and by Pinnacle in general. I know you guys really are going to be real ambassadors for our country here in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know what you do in the years to come will have probably a much more profound influence on the relationship between the U.S. and Trinidad and Tobago than anything we could hope to do at the embassy. And I see you guys as our partners, and I hope you always see us as your partners.
Yes, indeed. Of course, let me pause that a bit. And of course, I wanted to be as impressive as possible tonight, but the technology is such that sometimes the best of plans can be thwarted by unforeseen, so we call it Murphy's Law. But that being as it may, of course, a pleasant good night to you, Dr. C.O.P. Well, you heard what the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States said, and I think it was important. The part I liked, even though you didn't hear it in this particular piece, was that it is a renaissance. A renaissance means a renewal, taking old things and making it new, but of course to function in everybody's benefit. But of course we have the callers, so we have to go to the line. You'll make your introduction after. A pleasant good night, welcome.
Pleasant good night. I called to make my contribution early tonight. I missed out on some action these days.
All right, you go ahead.
What's going on? I want to put the government in front of the class for all the things they're doing right now in terms of in the energy sector.
Yes.
Right.
And for WASA too. We have something tonight on WASA.
Oh gosh, yeah. You like your trouble, you see. Right.
I see you smiling. I see KFC smiling. I see Anderson on the beat up smiling. I wonder why. But go ahead.
All right. I want to put some other people in front of the class too.
Yes.
You see the employees at the Tabakid Kuva Regional Corporation. Big up on themselves.
Great, man.
Penal DB Regional Corporation, all that big up on themselves. Superior Regional Corporation, all that big up on themselves. All that continue to lead by example, so Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation can see
doing and how much.
So all that continue, right? I want to leave a message to the chairman of the Tunapuna Corporation, that idiot. Yeah, what is going on? Before you have to go and file lawsuit and thing for police post building Eddie had gone. You know what to do? You see that pothole is sent at the entrance of the University of the West Indies about 2 years now? That big pothole in front of the university main entrance, the main campus in St. Augustine, for about 2 years? Yeah? Well, right. You should so you to go and fix that. And behind St. Joseph Secondary School, go and take a look down in the river and see the river looking. Right? So that is my contribution to that, Uncle Lennox. You know what I said? Everything nice now, man. Right? Oh, let's say good.
Yeah. Things are looking up. Tonight's program is about optimism because
Yeah.
the foundation is being laid. Therefore, for that, and the
God.
PNM can eat their heart out, and those obscurantists and others. But let me go straight, of course, to Dr. COP. A pleasant good night to you, my friend, and things are looking up. But I want to hear from you in your own
Good
words.
night,
Go ahead,
good
my
night,
friend.
good night to you, Lennox Smith. Good night to you and your family. Just good night to you. And good night to all the listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation. I want to tell the listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation, that doctor is for Lennox Smith, eh? That doctor is for Lennox Smith. Alone, eh? I will not accept it from any other callers, listeners, and viewers. That I will take that from Lennox Smith alone. I don't think that I
Well,
qualify.
Andy did it this morning, so I don't know if it is infectious enough.
In a
but
sarcastic manner. In a sarcastic manner. And he allowed to put it across in a sarcastic manner. But
yes.
I listened to the American people and one thing I wanted to hear is that Dr. Rowley and Stuart Young and all them PNM people that will not have no visa again. But I agree 100% to bring back all those old US spots in this country, all the past energy sector we had in this country that done for years now.
We have people calling. We are callers, so we have to wait.
Take the callers and them.
Good morning.
They're more important.
Yeah, good morning. A pleasant good night. First thing's nice. I know the difference between day and morning. Now. Good night. Good night.
Good night, COP.
Yes, man.
No, good my brother. You don't handle to your name.
Yeah.
Doctor with no ink in it to write, to distribute. Oh, Lennox.
Hey.
Oh, COP. I see my boy recovering, man, and the Williams, man. You'll find that good. I know you was on darling politics to banker stress now. All let's get you sick, you know that?
Yes. Well,
don't get because he say things happen, and all you need, hold on, better days are coming. And you see, let us you laugh, I serious thing. I hear my boy, I see all your four fridge walking there now, boy.
Who's that?
Talk City, boy.
All right, well,
Fridge in there, LNG, Whirlpool. I'm a partner X, boy. Must say good afternoon to X wherever he is. X is that man who put a water in the mouth to talk at the and he's saying the ground crying out, especially around the UNC activist Lennox.
Yes.
Lennox now is summertime back to school, and you is that man in the East-West corridor, everybody coming by you. They give you about 200 bags, some pencils, some books, to distribute out to the people in the East-West corridor. That people who walk and camp with you, Lennox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This thing getting out of hand, you know. The activists and them crying out on the ground. They only jumping like frog and going across the PNM and going around social media and cussing now. And people who cuss with donkey ears who skin up and say the worst about my Prime Minister getting opportunity to open arms. Me in fact I'm glad, but the people who fight and toil open their hands and assist them for that people to assist. Who walk and camping, nobody really look out for nothing, nobody not obligated to nobody, but they look out and assist people too, because that was we lost election 2010 to 2015, no Lennox. We can't be feeling the political enemies and they're going back and carrying back news to the political enemies, no Lennox. Lennox means on the ground, you know. True loyalists, we're not happy out there. So who vex loss? Bless.
Mm-hmm. Yes, man. Well, you have to talk, Frank. And while, of course, you're singing much better than last week and the week before, but certainly one has to take note of those realities. Continue, COP.
That is why I just give KFC that support. Because you must speak on the things that matters in life. And you must speak about things that you're witnessing in front of your face. and that is a fact. Why is UNC activists and them crying out? PNM activists and them that we fought against and we speak out against and tell them no, they was going the wrong way by voting for Keith Rowley and putting Keith Rowley in office over there. Today, we see most of them enjoying themselves and they even condemning the UNC activists and them today. I say, we papa. But I would like to see you see all them US United States
Well,
areas.
we have another call.
I don't know why they like to do me that over there, but I know. Go ahead.
A pleasant good night. Welcome.
A pleasant good night to you,
Yes, sir.
Uncle Lennox.
Yes, man.
And COP and his family, and Uncle Lennox and his family.
Yes,
You see, I treat him good first year, Uncle Lennox.
Yeah, man.
Right? You see, I'll make him be appreciated. And to all the listeners in all his country.
Faizabad, good night to you. Faizabad, good night to you and your family. Faizabad.
Then I want to say, COP, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Because, you know why? I'll tell you, I'll tell you, great is the PNM. You know why?
I don't think he could tell you on on time. The synchronization is not there. But go ahead. Yeah, there's a delay.
Yeah. So I'll talk to you then, Uncle Lennox. Great is the PNM. And let us prevail. Because you know why? Just imagine, them have CPAP workers booking for $96. And the contractor running away with the bigger amount. Yeah? And just imagine $1.4 billion the action with the contract. And then people still hungry. Something wrong. Great is the PNM. Just imagine $600 for a fortnight. $600 a fortnight. And then they can pay children school fee, pay for food, pay for light bill, and send the children to school. Great is the PNM. But COP, and you know what the next thing? COP, the PNM does give the activists who make plenty noise a little hush sometimes. But only Rowley say that the rich have to get richer until they say, Auntie, we get too much. Yeah? But Auntie asks, where's your No, we just only asking where we candidate, we support, and where we candidate, how they say nothing to we. Yeah? How they want to say nothing and talking to we get nothing. And you see how you all see this operate, right? But great is the PNM. Great is the PNM, and they will fail. Have a pleasant night, Uncle Lennox.
I hear you, my friend. You have a chance to continue, COP. COP, go ahead. You have a chance to continue. COP, go ahead.
Yeah. You see all them spots and them in Shagaramas. And in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it have over a dozen areas in this country that the United States once control. That airplane run, I think in Trinidad and Tobago, established by our Access Administration to ensure that they get back all those spots on them and work very close with the United States of America government in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That is with that closeness, we will reach on top of the world. We will reach on top of the world, a little small dot in the Caribbean, working with the largest country in the world, the most powerful country in the world. The Western Hemisphere will envy us. They will envy us. Working with the United States of America.
We have another call.
Take the call.
We have another call.
I know many of them like that was saying this.
I hear you. Pleasant good night. Welcome.
Good night, Doctor. Good night.
Good night.
Trinidad and Tobago, good night, worldwide. Doctor, I think that you see them CPAP workers, let them go back and vote PNM to get $600 a fortnight. Son, that's how smart it is. Anyhow, but here we're going on. You know when a child and a mother, right? A mother will tell, or a father will tell a child, I can't afford that right now. You'll have to do it so and so, right? You'll have to take that because I can't afford that right now. You'll have to wait. You know, it has some children does understand that. It has it has some children again. Them vex. Them mad. You understand? That is how some people coming across to me. You understand? Because as a mother and a child, right? The child have to know, the child have to understand that life is a thing. You have times you have to wait, right? Have times you have to have patience, right? And I mean, that's how a wise person know it, right?
Yeah.
So when so these followers, right? These followers of PNM who so it's not even a year, it's almost it's a year and something, Kamala. Sorry, the Honorable Prime Minister in Nicole, right?
Yes.
A year and about 2 months or something, right?
Yeah.
And he will say, well, you have to wait, right? But she's right, because that length of time, right? You can't correct all them wrongs, all them negative things what happening in a year and 2 months. You can't correct all of that. So some people you have to sacrifice, you have to wait. But there's girl like spoil to her. They don't want to wait at all. You understand? I see them as illiterate little girls. Huh?
Yeah,
Right, my eye doc.
Yes, man. Strong words, strong words, strong words for those who have the tendency or may not want to would want to continue to be recalcitrant and not face reality. Today we had a discussion on that as well. But go ahead, COP. I want you to finish eventually.
Yes, Lennox matter. You hear me loud and clear? Yeah?
Loud and clear, loud and clear, yes.
Loud and clear.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want.
I agree with you, That's what we want. Pleasant good night, welcome. Pleasant good night, welcome.
Yeah, good night to all of your listeners, all your callers, everybody.
Yes.
This is Mr. Fernando calling.
Yes.
What I want to say tonight. Okay, now we had to congratulate the Prime Minister in a big way, but the thing is, what I want to really say is that remember the peace march or the peace thing that took place in the square.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, prior to that, I remember just about 2 or 3 weeks before that, I remember having a discussion with about 3 or 4 people right there on that square, where we were trying to figure out or say or the conversation was surrounded around the drugs that was emanating from Venezuela into the United States of America. Now we are seeing where I was trying to say to a couple of people that it really was the drugs that President Trump was after. It really was the drug trade, right? Because, and I will show you where Stuart Young and they went wrong. Eh? No, it really was the drug trade because remember, Trump, if you are the president of a country like the US, and you are seeing a situation where people are starting to leave a country like Venezuela, and they weren't leaving in just like 10,000 or 5,000, right? They were leaving by the millions. The Venezuelan economy went down, right? So these people were looking for alternatives to make money for the children or whoever. I will put it across that way. But the drug trade is a terrible thing, right? And what Trump did, instead of letting it escalate, right? This is what I was trying to explain to the people, and some of them were against me, right? Instead of letting it escalate, you clamp down on it one time. Now, if that was allowed to continue, today we would have been in a situation where millions more would have been leaving Venezuela. You follow?
Yeah.
Now, Stuart, yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right? So Trump put on, he put on his foot on it one time. Don't let it escalate, because if he had allowed that to happen, right? Today we see the fruits of that, right? Now, Stuart and they went into Venezuela with the gas deal, right? And even that too, how could you really do business in an environment like that, where millions were leaving, and then you had to deal with the drug issue, and then coupled with that too, remember the UNC had put down 12 boats, about 12 boats to control the borders of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
And I think by the time the PNM took office in 2015, in about 2 or 3 years, only probably one was operational, if so much, right?
Yeah.
So that it was escalating in our faces. So it took the courage of this present Prime Minister to change that whole picture. So now we see the benefits of what is happening, right? So Stuarty, what I have a question here, and I think I wrote it down here. What does it take to change the essence of a person's thinking? Like Stuart Young forever coming and giving us all kind of rigmarole stories, right? Now, he used the analogy of the Angostura thing, the Angostura company, right? To see that, and I don't think
a reduction in profit. A reduction in profit, not that it busts. A reduction in profitability.
Yeah, but did he mention the figure?
No, he didn't mention it. He made about a 10% there, about 10 or 5%. It can't be more than 10.
All right, let me just say Angostura made a profit of 15 million in 2025, right? And then in 2026, you lose 5, right? You still have 20.
That's right.
In your pocket, and 20 can still do a lot. How much more money do you want? And I'm sure that that figure I'm calling, it will be much more than that to me. Because
it's conservative.
okay,
Yes.
yeah. Where is Angostura located? I'll show you something. Where is Angostura located?
In Laventille. Eastern
In Laventille.
Success Village.
Eastern Maine. They are making a profit in a PNM controlled corporation, Laventille. And the profit that they are making is huge. And they could afford really to do things in Laventille itself, you know, with that kind of money that they're making every year.
I'll give you a story in a while on that. But go ahead, yes.
You know, they can afford to really help Laventille do things. But everybody just playing greedy. Nobody is seeing, you know, not that I want to go against these people for the profits that they're making, but, you know, have a I mean, we are seeing it daily in our lives where some of these institutions, the banks, all of them making huge profit, right? And it's like, what is happening is that daily, on a day-to-day basis, they're going down a road like they don't really give a cahoots about the ordinary man. That's what I'm saying. So,
yes.
Now, let me just go and say one thing further, right? Before you give me this story, but I will go further and say this also. Now, about I remember I had a relative that died in Laventille. Now, just to tell you how the PNM control corporations are so run down and everything, right? I had a relative that died in Laventille, and I came to the funeral, but I can't remember on which street it was, but that I came to in the church, right? And we were outside the building and stuff like that before we actually went in. And I went across the road. And let me tell you, I don't know how it is that some of these corporations or we seeing it on a day-to-day basis where even our drains are so it clogged up with water and all these bottles and all kind of things. Just how much does it take to really get this place to be cleaned up? And it really hurts sometimes to see this kind of thing going on in Trinidad. Like we don't care, like the PNM itself, or is it the PNM itself don't care, or people just don't care? I don't know. And even San Fernando here too, we see it where sometimes in Pleasantville you pass through by a drain. The drain is clogged up, right? So the place will be like, it's like mosquitoes will attack your head. You have to look at the position of your head, all them kind of things. So what I really want to do is to congratulate the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago for having taken us out of this. Well, you can't fix everything in just wave a wand and fix everything. But if we continue to go down the road and follow the leadership of our present Prime Minister, I think Trinidad will go well fine.
Yes. I agree with you, my friend. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Try to finish the COP.
You're right. You're right, Lennox. If we follow this administration, we will reach real far.
Yeah.
Together with the United States. You see, all the spots that the American had over here, you see all them light over them? Put it back in their hands. Let them watch the whole CARICOM, the Western Hemisphere. Let them look down at them and watch. Make sure our borders, everything's secure. That's the kind of passionate representation we will get and unity we will get from the Americans and them. Community country. What you once had in this country, it shall be yours again. And I really hope that the work with this administration and this administration give them all them. Just imagine, we would like to see Caroni open back again. We will, just as how we see that steel mill opening back. We would like to see the sugar industry open back. We would like to see the invest money in our cocoa and coffee again. All those things we had in this country. We would like to see coconut oil making in Trinidad over here, and I think again that coconut industry kick back up. All those things we had in this country. Who destroyed it? Not the coalition of interest, not the UNC, not the PEP. Nobody else but the People's National Movement. They destroy all our historical sites in this country, and everything that we was benefiting from, they destroy it. Let the Americans assist us, help us on the things that matters to the development of the future of this country. I give them 10 out of 10 for that. And I give this administration 10 out of 10 for working closely with the United States of America. I don't know if I will give them 10 out of 10 in representing some of the activists and them that crying.
I hear you.
Please don't ask them how much I will give them.
I hear you.
Yeah, Lennox, good night.
Our president.
Yeah, good night.
Yes.
Good night, Lennox on COP.
Yes, good night.
COP, I think we long past sugar, boy. I don't think that sugar factory can make a comeback. You see, we wouldn't have the land space to plant the byproduct to make the byproduct of sugar. We have to get land space to plant back the cane, and then we don't have that. So I think we long past that. And with this administration, I think there's a lot of new things that she will implement to replace that sugar factory. So let me see how it go, man. stay strong and stay a steady head.
All right. Thank you very much for that intervention.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get a chance to finish now, COP. COP, you see if you can finish. You finish?
I am. We might not have the land space. We might not have the land space for those products and then cane and then, but we could plant cane and do other products with it.
Yeah, we could develop niche markets. That's what we have to do.
We had VAT 19 rum in Trinidad over here.
Yeah. Pleasant good night, welcome. Pleasant good night, welcome.
Good night. Good night to Trinidad and Tobago. Good night to the honorable political leader of the Love the Rocket. You know, I always say that that blessed, wonderful political party, what bringing light to the people. And you know, also I want to say good night to the captain there, Mr. COP, because that code, you cannot ride your rocket without your pilot. So this is a serious thing. I want to say also good night to all the candidates of Laventille, enrichment of vertical enrichment, Love the Rocket, because we know that you are there, you are alive. We want to hear your voices. We want to see you in positions, right? I want to say good night also to the Honorable Prime Minister, because in her tenure within 2010 to 2015, the promises that she had promised, she had delivered 99.9% of her promises, right? And she always wanted a second term. You know that, Mr. Lennox. She wanted a second term to bring this country back as a first world status. We could get there. We could reach there. We have the support. We have the resources. We have the manpower. And now, like never before, what we have here, we have the candidates and the members of Laventille for vertical enrichment. Love the Rocket. You know, I don't want to come up with the name because I'm listening to the members of the candidates of Love the Rocket. I was there in the I think it was last year in the stadium in Port of Spain in the Queen's Park Savannah, and where I saw the candidates of Love the Rocket. They was there. I want to see them in positions. I want to see them in ministries. I want to see them doing things for the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. I want to see my brother here, Mr. Captain COP, because this brother, over the years, this man always fighting in all radio stations, all TV stations, for the people of this country, right? That is a song. I want to see my brother. This is our brother, our political leader of Love the Rocket. I want to see Mr. Lennox. It have room for you, brother, in our ministry. Right? You have to deliver because you is a man of the people, by the people, for the people, also will deliver goods and service to the people. You know what I want to see also? Before the half of the year finish, I mean, some persons have issues, but we comment on that, and that will solve off. Just as how it have different weather, sometimes sun shine and rain fall. I want to see a station built up somewhere for the ground report. This is what I want to see. I want to see land given to the ground report. And I want to see a building starting to go up. Because that ground report, it will be a station, again, of the people, by the people, for the people. Because everybody is calling from all political parties, from Love the Rocket, from the UNC, the PNM, right? The COP, everybody is calling, right? We want to see this radio station come on board. I understand that it is going to have a meeting. I don't know, because I just overheard it this morning. They said that this meeting is coming up this week for the Love the Rocket. The candidate is going to come out to speak out. And this is the time, this August 2026, is all sundry on board. I tell you, from the captain, from the COP, from this is a serious time, you know, because more hands we have on deck is more performance, more goods and services is going to deliver to the people. And this is what we're talking about. We want goods and services to deliver to the people. And you know, the Honorable Prime Minister always listen to the people. Right now, she probably she listening here, right? Or she just play back when she go back on she time off. And we know that she's good, but it have evil people around her who twisting things in a different direction. I want to say good night to my brother. There's KFC, right? And also that fella, for a little while there, he is always calling for the people, right? And he just say the activists are in the ground, they paying for them, right? This is a serious thing. We want no activists to have pain. We want the activists and them to be smiling, right? And you know, as before I go, because there's so much of different issues, I just want to highlight this issue. Because Lennox, when we highlighted in the corridor of transformation, good night again, these issues has been sort of. Recently, boy, Lennox, it hurting me to see what big people doing in this country, boy. The cruelty for animals. People, a man take a big stone and beating a little dog on the head. It have one who drive over a dog and kill the dog. The old man start to cry. And this week gone there, it have a person somewhere in Five areas. I think the police looking for him right now. He take a van and he run over, he break the dog foot. But the people get it. Right now, there's an outrage in the whole Trinidad and Tobago, right? And next thing, we know that the good Prime Minister had said in her campaign trail that she's going to tackle this noise pollution, boy, because it have newborn babies. Look, your children, Mr. Lennox, they just be studying in the computer. They want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a pilot also, right? It have plenty children that cannot function properly with this noise pollution. The senior citizens, it is affect animals also, right? Because you remember, animals is here 10 times stronger than us. We must set some sort of things in place to deal with this. And the current fines for that is plain dolly house. We want fines from $20,000 to $30,000 so these perpetrators will not break the law. They will think 10 times before they act in that foolish matter, right? And also, we asking, it have some other things I will get into here, but I don't want to take up because there are plenty of people probably waiting to have the contribution. I want to say, before I go, good night again to the rocket, love the rocket, and I am listening to the candidates because we know that they are coming with good strategy to deliver for the people of Lavantil, downtown Port of Spain, around that area, all down, coming down to the Mova, Lavantil, East Dry River area there, because that's your turf there. Mr. Lennox, according to how that swing, I tell you, next election, that's your seat, you know.
I'm very optimistic, just as you are.
Good night, Mr. Lennox and COP. Good night.
Good night to you as well, my friend. COP, you ain't getting time to finish, boy, but go ahead.
The brother on a ball. Yeah, the ball. Give him 10 out of 10. He stand up. He stand up. And I've been hearing him for years. For years I've been hearing him. It's just that I never know that I had all that support outside there, Lennox Smith.
Well, yeah.
And how do you get that? It's when you stand up for the vulnerable and the responsibility I have on air over here. My work finished the 28th of April, the last election. My work campaigning ended when we were successful. That political work ended. Now is for this government to hold the end and represent people, assist people, help people in time of need, for them to stay in office. No matter what we do over here, speak how much we want to speak for free. We can't deter people from voting. We can't do that. We will try. What I would like to see is that we should have a national security ad on the corridor transformation, advising the people and them where they can go for assistance. I would like to see.
We have a call.
Take the call.
A pleasant good night. Welcome.
Hello, good night, Mr. COP and Mr. Lennox.
Yeah, man.
Lennox,
Hey.
you know, for the last 9 years plus, I was fighting a war with a stinging shot. On April 28th, I was to get ammunition to carry the war. I can't carry the war. Me don't want to pong no crown. I was sitting in a proper job. I could put a bread on the table. Look, I see Philip Alexander going all over this country with agency apartments were abandoned all over. I see one in Marvelous constituency. You know who's the contractor get that contractor build 25 townhouses and he get money up front? A man from Santa Cruz. Either man in charge of scaffold all over the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But he get contract to build house. Ricky Ragana, he was in charge. I worked with him already plenty of free on the Caribbean and build tent and all them kind of thing and scaffold and thing in there. But the end of the day, Lennox, when they talk, so they say you're bringing down the government. No. Remember, we work hard, we support, we fight. There's no time for me to read the benefit. You know, glad I go here. My brother COP, I have a contractable and a box train. He could pull in. I can say, now, boy, I could go by and say, I can get a fortnight work day. Here, Lennox, somewhere in the parliament, talking on behalf of the brother in Lavanti. And I am a boy, boss man talking there. I'm showing love. It's love. We show love for the last 9 years plus and beyond. But right now we need that love and that support. And I am not call about but hold on. How long we hold on until Jesus Christ coming? He ain't come yet. So we can't hold on. We need to get fed. Like Lennox, most of the cost said on God.
I hear you. Don't cuss. Don't be driven to that. So see if you can finish now, COP.
All them people and them are telling people, hold on. Them have a salary every fortnight to get it. Or them have a salary every month to get it. And them don't even meddle about the one who have no salary to get it. They're not even willing to say, all right, when I get my salary, I know that, brother, we fight for years for one cause to let the UNC win the election. Look, I get a pay over here today. Let me go and assist them. Look, I have a little $50 here, boy. You might be able to buy about a pack of rice and a bottle of oil. Not even that they're thinking about. All I know to tell you is, hold on. If them wasn't getting a salary, they would have never tell you that. So you don't even just take them on. Don't even take them on. You need to do what you have to do. Don't come over here and insult our administration. Don't be rude to any government ministers and them. The things you need in life, you could ask for that. And I give all you full 100% support for asking for the things that you need in life. Asking for the support. I don't expect none of all you to go by the PNM and ask for any support. I don't expect all you to go by the Tobago House of Assembly to ask for support. But I expect all you to ask all your administration and all your government for support. And when all you get that support, it classifies as representation. That is what the government is supposed to be doing. Represent the people and them. Lennox Smith, I wait for that press conference for Wednesday. I wait to listen to that press conference. Yes. And maybe yet listen to it yet. And I want the political party of Love and the leader to know, and every member of the Love, you have 100% support for Mr. COP. Great. 100. I want to speak franco on this. And don't hold it against me, listeners and viewers. What I have been seeing with the attention of Love is no attention. Is no attention. The positions that people benefited in this country, and they get through already, and no representation for Love. Not even a hamper or to stick 5 youths from the vulnerable communities and say, well, I could send them names to get a little job or get a little work. Nothing like that. That is wrong. That is wrong. It have many citizens in this country can open their eyes and see. It have many people in this country that support the collusion of interest can open their eyes and see that and say, no, that is wrong. And they will keep a blind eye. They will keep a blind eye. They will keep the shame in their eyes and call every morning and say good morning and good night. And they will not even open their mouth and say, hey, that is wrong. The organization called Love, that political party, needs some assistance, needs some love, need representation. They would not do that. Why? Why? Our party is in office. Nobody, today, tomorrow, to have an election, we will be campaigning for our political party, which is the United National Congress, the coalition of interest. That is if it have the coalition of interest for 2020. But we will be supporting that. But don't expect to get no representation, no assistance, and expect every night people come over here to say coalition of UNC.
We are going for another call. We are going for another call. President, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and
man.
all in sundry. No,
Yes.
I wanted them to finish, but anyway, I'll buy over his show because here what's going on. Uncle Lennox,
Hey.
in 2015, when it come out and we fight tooth and nail, we lost by 350,000 people vote for United National Congress. The EBC still assisted the PNM to get 23 seats. Eh? And they give them that, they run the country. We come out and we fight. We talk. It had COVID. The PNM put on we. Right? And they mash up everything and they had the election. And yet still you see in San Fernando West, they drag the foot. They do all kind of thing. They scrape in with the EBC again and they win. You know, in 2025, we come out and we rally, we talk. I know by that time, from 2015 to 2025, the activists and them is holding on. They're waiting. We praying. We have hope. We had patience worse than Job. And since 2015, 2025 come, we get through. Right? But the truth must be told, I just tell you, and you know me. I just say, when I see a donkey with a short tail and a donkey with a long tail, I could tell you it's the same as a donkey. Right? Not because one have a longer tail and one have a shorter tail. Is a donkey, is a donkey. But you tell me, after 10 years of fighting and supporting and doing, it have ways and means. I put it tonight on your show, right? It have ways and means and it have things out there that it could get to give the supporters of the real activists of them. You see, you and Andy and COP and them, me talking about myself, you know. I accustomed getting neglected, you know. Because here what's going on. Since the Shama time, right? Tooth and nail fighting, coming up the road. And the office managers and all of them neglect me, you know. I confess, you know, I'm telling you how it is operate. And you see the same thing. Come now, hard as it is. Because you know what I want to ask you? There is one thing, I don't have plenty friends. And if I lost a friend tonight, I gain plenty. Because here what's going on. It had the PNM narratives on them. They get them hush. Get them to hush them. They get. How them could get? Right? and they just come and hit you on. While you stop to pull your water can to keep going to the toilet, son, to fight for your party. That is hurt. And the nice thing about it, we are talking about tonight, we are talking plain for everybody to hear and understand. You wait for 10 years, and yet still telling you, hold on. Then I had to be a monkey uncle that don't know that I's a monkey. When they ask me, they tell me I's a monkey uncle, I say no, I's a baboon. So I had to wait and take that stupidness from the smart ones at them. While the office, right, and those who are appointed in the office, the constituency office, the set who push up themselves, fight and trample over. Them when trying to distribute what to give out, how to share it, what to do to help. They only had their friends and who they say must get. So I would just tell you on this program tonight, you on COP, that anytime an activist talk out, they is to tell you that somebody else beside the activist is benefited, and when you watch left, right, and center, see the few who benefited through the little cracks and crannies. So, Uncle Lennox, you're fighting for Lavantil and Lavantilians. It's not only today in the PNM you started. You started when back in the 80s, coming up the road. Other people who had affiliation take your program and run alongside a similar program and run it as call it survival to help and do. They get the recognition, they get state asset to put the trainees in, get facilities with PTSD bus to drop them to and from. Because the Lavandale people and them, vote, and they have a way of voting, right? UNC in the history of the PNM is over 4,000 votes gathered in one election. That is when they make the inroad. And then you fighting so long, and you telling me it have people who cuss, talk, call all kind of names. But I will go down that road and call nobody name. All I say, God bless you, and God bless all you to be the leaders of this country, or they're doing a good work. But unfairness is not a nice thing. Because when you see your job is to serve the people, and people come in, do an audit on it, up to now they do an audit and say that, Lennox Smith, you're not doing the thing you're supposed to do, and what you say you're doing, everything is by charity and begging and asking John Public to assist you. You're fighting. The body getting weak. The mind is strong. We have a tradition in this country. We just give recognition to the dead instead of while they're living. So, Uncle Lennox, I want to tell you tonight again, don't keep on fighting. We will keep on letting them know, right? And the authorities that who can help make the difference and equality across the board. You deserve a peace and the economic prosperity to share for your people to get your support. I don't want the central government and those in authority, plain talk man manners. Don't show no one-sided and biasness. Because it's showing. Because just imagine, you went up for election with your candidate. Up to now, the EBCA gave you a report. The other side lost election. And you see, same thing I'm telling you. You can see for yourself where others reach. Jackass ain't reach yet. But it's slow. But when? When? That is the question. When? But Uncle Lennox, who vex? Local election coming, and you know what I say? Let me try to win the election. but how you do it? Eh? The little thing you can do for people today is what they'll remember you tomorrow. You know? Have a pleasant good night.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, yes, indeed. COP, you heard him? You heard
Yes, 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 yes. Faizabad take 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I want to say that what he has expressed and others is not unfamiliar to me. But I have always said that unfair games will have to be played over. I also say that water, like water, it will find its own level. And that ability is ability. And ultimately, when that flounders by those who would have gone in front, come out of the woodwork, so to speak, and take in front because they were absent, they were invisible, but suddenly they are very, what I consider to be conspicuous. But ability is ability, and eventually, what is for you will be. But I always give a proviso. The proviso is this, that if you die before, well, sorry about that, right?
Lennox Smith,
I don't want to die.
What Faizabad expressed there is evidence of what he's witnessed, what he see, is what he expressed himself over there. And I'll give you an example. The PNM activists and them today that who have show, I'll call one name, Wall Street and them. Today them could boast. Today them could boast. Them condemn. The Public People's Partnership condemned the UNC for 50 years. Spend out the assets to carry Keith Rowley in America. Wine and dine and raise fund for them. Why is it was putting down the People's Partnership? Deny the citizens of this country at Debe Campus University. Deny the citizens of this country at Kuva Hospital. Wall Street and them do that. And today, how them can be boasting and saying, oh, we could call the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister is listening to we and them can get ads and them can do videos. Them can do videos and make money today. And we who stand up and fight for free, take we own assets, take we own money. I can remember when they was calling a radio station for $6 a minute and a radio station and a phone. We were spending $60 and $70 and $80 a day calling radio station, defending the UNC from people like Wall Street and them. Today them condemning UNC activists and telling them hold their hand, why is them telling people they're making money. And we must watch that and say that is equilibrium, that is balance, that is betrayal, that is unfair. Yeah. And today some of our own supporters will cost us, deny us, put us down for them same PNM activists and them same ungrateful human being that classify themselves now as UNC activists. Tell themselves that, well, you want to let those people look by themselves, and be a UNC, support the UNC, but don't ever condemn a UNC activist. A UNC activist stand up for equal rights and justice. A UNC activist stand up against wrongdoers. Today when all they playing, all they conscious, all they not conscious, is because all they broken, spend out all the money, carry the whole PNM and all the family home. Today all they looking to make money now off of the UNC. And we must accept that. And when we speak against that, some of our own UNC activists will try to condemn us for saying them things. I will say it. I will say it, Lennox Smith. Yeah. Because I don't depend on administration to live. I depend on my independence and use my assets to go forward in life.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, man. I want to say this, though. I have supreme confidence, and why I can say so because I am probably unique in that regard, in the repository of certain types of information and direction emanating from the Prime Minister herself, to me. And I, in reciprocation, made certain commitments as well. And while, of course, tolerance has a limited shelf life, for example, it cannot be said that if you're asking somebody to wait, it can't be until half term, 2.5 years. I see as reasonable a year and a half. I see as reasonable a year and maybe 8-9 months. And I want to say this, that the discussion was such, and without giving anything away, was such. But let me go to the line. A pleasant good night, welcome. Good night, welcome.
Yeah, hello, good night, Mr. COP and Lennox.
Yes, sir.
Lennox, the Love Party, going to have a press conference Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday, yes. From 10 o'clock.
Lennox, as a man, I feel the papi show.
Good night to you, KFC. Good night to you, KFC.
I see a set of people that believe respect me more than my girlfriend respect me and say, go buy Lennox. Go outside to get a food card. But look how long you plan them in the East-West corridor. They want to come and sign up. They come and distribute that. Free to distribute to the plan them. Lennox is 1,000 people be coming in by you in and out.
Yeah.
Free to flood resume, to do this, to do that. And you that man, you can assist them and try to send them, go there, go that. Or use that man in coordination interest with the government. You supposed to have a lesson that we can assist the plan them in the East-West corridor. That ain't looking too good.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's that I speak out and talk to man. Lennox, I that man. I put my trust in God, not man. You know, for the last 9 years plus, I cussing the PNM, saying the words this, that. Put to, you take away my little grand selection that I was working. You know, but to go in my car, you know, 2024, I come and get a house for my family, and then under the PNM. When the PNM activists and them hear that, them saying they wait till I can have 15, 20 years before they get a house. But who jobless no man curse?
That's right.
You know, Sean Felix was a talk show host. She now used to come, she to block me, this, that thing, and they saying the worst KFC, can't do that. When I stopped my thing, and she called me a day after election, Lennox, and telling me when they're going to go by herself, and telling me if she didn't know the stuff my grandmother, and then she could have talked to that woman, the former minister for social development, Donald Cox, to take back my thing.
Yes,
you know what I tell she? I say, Paul. So Lennox, talk your mind. So talk your mind. You know? We can't suffer instead anyway. You're supposed to get thing. Bless.
Yes, sir. And as I was saying, that there is a limited shelf life in terms of the tolerance. And to be more specific, in this particular case, I and my team possess a talent that nobody in Trinidad and Tobago possess or can deliver in a critical area. Young men and women, and I've mentioned it over and over, young men and women that are the bane, that are the problems, that are the violence, that are the formation of gangs and the borderline issues and so on, particularly along the east-west corridor, and more specifically in communities such as Lavatil, Beetham, Silats, etc., etc. Nobody in this country have done what I have done and still have the capacity to do, but I expect that with the proper strategy that I would have deployed in that hitching my wagon to the UNC and the coalition of interests, I expect in quick time, because here's what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that when harebrained ideas fail, they will have to resort to the solid and the foundational platform that Lennox Smith and others would have built over time and under pressure. Because not because you have the resources, it means therefore money and all of the other accoutrements that you can become a sergeant when you are a carpenter. You can't come a brain surgeon when you're a carpenter. You can't perform a heart operation when you are a carpenter. I see it too many times not to be confident that that is where it's going to go. But the big difference is, if it was the PNM, I would not have bothered with them, no matter what they offer. And they have offered. And I said no, because all they're not sincere, all they're not true, all they just want that for the next political opportunity. The UNC and Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC in general, it seemed to be an entity that reveres getting the opportunity to serve and will do what is required in order to serve the people. Whilst the PNM, of course, whilst in the doldrums of opposition, will now be engaged in platitudes and, of course, this self-righteous indignation and always looking for kinks in the armor and trying to make a mountain out of a molehill or a storm in a teacup. We understand that, and therefore this is what we are about here tonight and on the ground report and elsewhere, to make them see that these things the PNM is focusing on, a storm in a teacup, and will not gain any traction because the UNC and the coalition has a mission. So time will eventually, of course, speak true, but as I say, time has a limited shelf life, and as I said, half of the period is not acceptable. Let's go to the line. A pleasant good night.
A pleasant good night again. I'll be on Houston tonight now, because Uncle Lennox, based on what you just said, right? Look at this one. It is causing the proposal. It is not for the government to give financial assistance. It wasn't that I'm looking for financial reward. I do proposal, and you know, and put ideas before they even launch it as a national level through the Ministry of Agriculture. And when you get blank, and that and all is shortcoming, what do you have to say about it? Ask COP, when I tell him, I say, hey, let me go and thank cassava. I only hint to him, right? I ask for this to give him the opportunity to help others and to make a contribution to the community and others, to uplift in using my environment and what I have. No set of expense. And that and all was shortcoming of Lennox. It's not that the sour grapes gone bad enough. If you check with anybody of status in Faizabad and ask them if they know me, they'll tell you they know me. Right? And they know how much costs are costing people. Right? But you see, I'll tell it tonight on your program. You see, pussyfooting? Pussyfooting is not a thing in my book. And that is agitatement. I can only take a certain amount of tolerance. And the level, just really take a super tanker to carry more, right, tolerance than me. And yet still, I supersede a super oil tanker with tolerance, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Right? But when you see the Morocco and the Faraco defecate, you see that piece of filth, I can't take the one from the bull. Because here what's going on. When people talking with flattery tongues and you come forward to put your mouth where your labor is and to deliver, and you just need the assistance, right? And those in authority come more and do it, right? And they find you two is nothing. I will say it plain. You is nothing to me on my objective and to accomplish my goal. But you know, in my area, every time I go down the new highway and I'm watching all different part of the state land and private land, people on the program. But here what's going on. Our state, bullshit is bullshit. Old talk is old talk. Reality is reality. And it's only the ocean could take an extra drip and air overflow. But if they check it, see how wide the ocean spread, right? And covering islands. But it could take a whole bucket and throw in the ocean, you will accept it. Because what we see in front of we say it accept it, see where the effect is. But enough is enough. And when we could talk out and tell the PNM to thief out everything, right? And when they want to take something now to better your country and bring up your people, right? To help them out of poverty and to keep them to survive. And you get this support. How you do? Moses get cursed, but God still guide him and give him the wisdom. Have a pleasant good night and tomorrow night in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, my friend. And of course, I want to continue with a biblical story as well, or biblical fable, which also speaks to the fact that the stone that the builder rejects ended up being the cornerstone. I believe in those idioms. I believe in those maxims. I believe in those anecdotal, but yet still very morally based and morally deep principles. So I understand, and let's shift it to the political side. And of course, there's sufficient argument to the contrary. We exist in a constituency that really and truly, from the outcome of the last elections and from elections before that really and truly is not a political electoral interest to the UNC. Let us not waste time with that. We know that. It is not political electoral interest to the UNC. But we have argued over the years. That is why we are in the coalition of interests. We have argued over the years that when we would have made our intervention politically, and while we would not have been successful electorally in terms of numbers, you have to winner take all, first past the post. Whether it's 1 by 1 you win. But we also say that because of the way the PNM have mistreated these constituencies, that in any electoral campaign, these constituencies have a lot of value. I remember, for example, in the 2010 elections campaign, I'm going to talk here, Frank, speaking with Jack Warner, who was a main player at the time. And when we brought the BBC to look at Laventille and Movant and Chinapu, etc., and I told him, he said, "What, Lennox? You bring the BBC here?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "For what?" I said, to make certain that the neglect is highlighted internationally from a party that has dominated these constituencies from time immemorial, almost never lost, even though there will be one exception, except for the Laventilles. And he said, "Go right ahead." I remember on another occasion, during the course of the prime ministerial position of this very same individual, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, there was a similar fright of violence up in what we call Canada and beyond. and there was protests, fiery protests, etc. I remembered very distinctly that I was having a conversation with Munilal, the current Minister of Finance, whether he and Warner had problems, that is their business. But Warner called me from the office of the Minister of National Security. That time he was National Security Minister. And he said that the Prime Minister wants to go up to Canada, and he wants me to come. He wants me to come immediately because he wanted to discuss the matter with me and to see how we could strategize, because it was an impromptu thing. And we agreed that we'll meet by the basketball court. The Prime Minister will remain there, alight from her vehicle there. But before that, I got a bundle of mini Trinidad and Tobago flags. And my duty was to make certain that along the track where the Prime Minister will be walking from the basketball court, every single child, every single individual had a flag in their hands, and of course waving with the presence of the Prime Minister. They may know that. Nobody know that. Me and, of course, Warner would have known. And I'll tell you this. In order to soak me as if I need any soaking, because I understand the critical nature of that, and because it was about politics, it was about elections, and of course you had to use those persons there to satisfy or to augment your political, what I consider to be not just aggrandizement, but your political currency. Understand what I'm saying? So
it was really a deceitful agenda.
So he told me that I would say something at the basketball court, but I was so taken up with the delivery, walk myself and deliver all of those flags, so that the little children and big people and so on will wave and so on. I reached back late, and by that time, of course, that little session in the basketball court was complete. I didn't pay it any mind. Whether he was sincere or not in me saying something there, I am still in a doubt. But nonetheless, I delivered. And the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, then would not have known anything about that. Anything about what it took to have these citizens, these residents, waving a flag while she was walking up to the place where the problem was in Canada, in John. Yeah. But there is more. Because I feel tonight I must say that. Because there is the perception that Laventille and these places is not electorally solid and cannot make contribution because this is a numbers game. But I've always said that the perception, why you cannot put a figure to it, you cannot put a number to it, you can't even monetize it. But people on the outside of Laventille, seeing that the BBC sending back to the world the squalor, the poverty, the inhumane conditions that people live in, certainly domestically has some political currency, must have an influence for any opposition in office. And that has been my argument. For the first time I'm saying that on air. Good thing I have my own program, or our own program here. Yeah. So that has happened. There's another incident that I want to tell you as well tonight. I didn't plan to say this tonight. I was going to deal with the positivity with respect to the visit of the the Assistant Secretary of State of the United States. But I may have been moved by some kind of divine inspiration because time is upon us. So I'll deal with those things that I plan to deal with substantively today, tomorrow. There's another one. After the SOE of 2011, the Prime Minister did two things. Then I'm talking about the same very Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Up to now, she doesn't know that. I'm saying that for the first time. Two things happened. One, she asked Selwyn Ryan, the deceased, to evaluate where young people come from that engage, of course, in criminal activity, gang warfare, etc., and the violence in school. So it's not, what is happening today is not the first time. That's why I can talk with confidence. And I know whether it be police posts and all, I know where it will go. I know that it is insufficient, in other words. But it is a step in the right direction, but it is insufficient for sustainable reduction of gravitation of young people to crime, criminality, having regard to the overwhelming numbers that we are talking about. We are talking about 22,000 young people coming out of school for the first, at the end of their secondary school life. Meeting up the 22,000 from last year and the 22 from the year before. How the hell somebody, and I at the risk of being facetious, that you having a barber shop exercise or a hairdressing course in your office could solve that. You could only handle 40, 50, not even 200. And I told Heinz and them the same damn thing when he went to graduate and boasting that he graduated 5 persons out of the technology center in Laventille there and say that he doing something. No! The numbers are too massive, and therefore you have to have a massive program in order to treat with the massive nature of the numbers that we are dealing with. Is common sense. So that is only for political, let's say, currency. A 5-person graduate here, and of course he's a good parliamentary representative. But no, let me tell all you something. I had the opportunity to become a lawyer. I did the first stage of the exercise. Had an opportunity, started the whole process. After, of course, getting my criminology degree and diplomas. But more importantly, when I looked at it, the same argument I am arguing here why I did not take up the opportunity. I say, but these are professions like a doctor where you can only deal with one by one. You get a client today, you advocate for them in court and so on. But I saw the problem as a massive one, and therefore you need a mechanism to treat with the masses. Thus, I went to the United States to talk with think tank, Dr. Gatti James, and all of us came together in New York. And when I came back, a different man. Because the issue had to be one, the response has to be one of a massive nature. You cannot have a problem like what we are having with our young people and the numbers that we are talking about that are gravitating, and tell me that you are going to have a barber shop. No. You have to have a program that has a mass intake so as to deliver or graduate mass output. That is what you need. And that's the only way you can solve the problem, man. That's the only way. And it is ironic, you know, that the person who I was supposed to talk to, and I could say it here, the Prime Minister asked me to talk to. I'm not going to say who the person is, but only to say that person told me that they had a brother or some family who came to MLIO, and that program is so damn healthy and so good for it turned his life around, etc., etc. A senior person in government, but yet still it's not good enough to be a priority. You see, why I'm saying so is because SOE come and go. You're going to roll out joint patrol stations. 22,000 coming out of school. You have an SOE that did not in any substantial way take away or transform or generate the attitudinal or paradigm shift that you desire. And I know that when the SOE is over and done with, as it must, all of those who were picked up here, there, and everywhere by the police will have to be set free. And thus adding to the problem of the 22,000 that would come out of the secondary system, a substantial amount of them will gravitate looking for hope, looking for some kind of association, looking for a place in Trinidad and Tobago, preferably the straight and narrow. But unfortunately, what they will be getting in their respective communities is more of the same. It is not. It has become farcical when I hear at the highest level of the police, Deputy Commissioner saying, crime. There wasn't a murder in this particular month, and Bram is as if people waiting to hear that. And as soon as they say that, 2 murders in the same place, and they had to shut them out. If it was me, I would have kept those things quiet. Why you want to boast that you didn't have murders in this place and you didn't have murder in that place and only 2 murders here, and of course compared to last year, it is 2 less or 3 less or 10 less, as the case may be. Why? You see, and to me, I say, listen, Lennox Smith, you are fortunate with health, etc. You position yourself in the right place. Eventually, they will have to come to a fellow like me. I know that. The very people the past administration. Remember, nobody else in Trinidad and Tobago. I addressed the National Security Council of Trinidad and Tobago before Hines and most of all of the present ministers of government. I did that because Manning called me after all failed. Blimp, the airship, the amorphous OPVs, and 365 degrees radar. All failed. And when we were about to
even Operation Baghdad.
all of that. And when we were about, government change. And guess what happened? That is the one I was going to tell you earlier. Guess what happened? The very proposal, MLI, Mobile Levitil Initiative, that was presented to Kamala Prasad Bissessa as a formidable program outside of the, or consequential of the SOE coming to an end. Just as how they have these 30 booths rolling out as a consequence of that, well, MLI was supposed to be that, was supposed to play that role. But guess what? I told you that when I met with the Minister of National Security then, and I presented the proposal, he said he will pay me 1, 2, leave it with him, and I don't talk by VAPs. As Bishop Barbara Gray Burke was there with me and of course my assistant, and I had a PowerPoint presentation on at the head of a horseshoe-shaped desk, where all of the heads of national security, the army, the police service, the fire service, etc., all of them, FBI, and all of them were there. And I remember very distinctly when I asked the question to them, posed it to them, that in Never Dirty, young people were displacing or running owners of properties in that community and taking over their community. They told me then no, they don't know. And there are several other things that I put to them and they simply couldn't answer. And today, obviously, when I say what I said, you must know that today we call it, of course, home invasion. Well, the genesis of that was right there in Never Dirty. And there are other embryonic things that I can tell you, but I won't say it here tonight. But the point I am making with respect to the SOE conclusion and the project that Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Prime Minister, was offered then was MLI. But guess what? They changed the name to Making Life Important rather than Mova Lavatil Initiative. Why? Just to keep me out. Just to keep me out. Plagiarize the whole damn thing. The Prime Minister, if she is listening, or any of her representatives or persons will know that. And she asked one man who was the advisor to the National Security Minister then. I'm going to call his name tomorrow. Son of a gun. Leave me out. Because I was demanding payment. I think I was asking for about $200,000 for my input. Because everybody else was getting, even of course, Zawski and Giuliani and all of them get money. So why the hell I can't get to? But I want to tell you, Honorable Prime Minister and Homeland Security, that MLIO program, the base, the foundation is still in Gonzales. The sign is still outside the building. MLI. It's there still. But nobody would know why. Because they were not the authors of that initiative, and therefore they were in a state of discombobulation or in a state of enigma, mystery, because you need to get the people who know, who understands, and therefore, listen, it was done by accident after the coup in particular of 1990. Robinson used to come up in our program in a dusty, rusty, ugly, inhospitable warehouse in Fernandez compound every month. And when you see the plethora of people of different walks of life, parents there, students there, waiting to listen and to partake, and you don't know yet, nobody tell you yet, that a person like me should be taken on board from day one to treat with this problem that is now going to even be more worse after the SOE would have been terminated. That is my concern, nothing else. And I've said it elsewhere, I am prepared to work for free. I just want to get the opportunity, because I know it is a multifaceted, multidimensional problem that has to get multidimensional and multifaceted response for it to be sustainably. But we can start with, as I said, Laventille and then mushroom out to other communities in the central and south, etc. But give us an opportunity. That alone, if I have to be annoyed, that alone is what I'm would be annoyed about. That alone. You see, because you are giving the PNM too much leeway when most of this could have been simmered down, if not quelled substantially. Yes, there were those who will always come with harebrained ideas and so, but none of them have been in the trenches. None of them know. I've always told Heinz, when he say Lavatil people want prayer, you bring on the Beatum a drain to be constructed. One drain. After many years in the without work. That's how the people is concerned. Let's go to the line. Let's go to the line. Good night. Welcome.
Mercenaries, welcome to Rakopta. Mercenaries, good night to COP, Lennox, Iron All, and Noise. Because they need the opportunity. They have a lot of ideas. And those the Law Party.
It's 1,000 persons registered here. 1,000 persons since, and we only did that after.
This time is donkey years. You need to get opportunities to learn the platform. You have good ideas for the country. You have to get the ideas. You have to share some ideas too. You can't damn it with all ideas. You have to share the ideas. Yeah. And now is the time for you to get opportunity.
I hitch my wagon to the best Lennox, opportunity.
It's sad. Bless.
Yeah. Best opportunity. And it's still there. But I'm just saying, of course, at least. And it's still there. There is something that you have tried that has not worked, but there's something that has worked. And the person who has made it work is saying, give me an opportunity for the longevity of the party and the government, because the closer you reach to the terminus of this term without solving these problems substantially, you go the way, you're likely to go the way of the NAR, you're likely to go the way of a previous UNC administration. Give me the opportunity, that's all I want. Money is irrelevant to me. We did it already. Give us the opportunity, and you have to do so with not invent a new program all entirely and wait until it fails 2-3 years, and then of course you then come and say, that is what Manning did. How else I was able to address the national? You know what Manning said when I presented a 1,000-page document up at the success after? He says, Smith, you better condense that, and I will let the Minister of National Security talk with you, because election might come and go, and I'm still reading that. So in other words, he realized that he was desperate and wanted to find a way out, because crime and criminality of our young people being disillusioned, etc., was upon him, and he had to find a way to solve that problem, but couldn't. I have spoken to certain elements, not at the highest level, but the middle level or lower than that in the current government, and then I would postulate, give a scenario. Well, if this happens, this is going to happen. And the level of naivety, I don't want to call them stupid because they're not stupid, but naivety. They tell me, well, listen, army go deal with them and the police go deal with them, etc., etc., and I just laugh. I say, look at that. They don't know, Honorable Prime Minister. They do not know. When I first met Patrick Manning, boy. All right, we have to take the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night again.
Yes.
All I call to tell you is half of the term is unacceptable, and we behind you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All we are doing is attempting to make the authorities understand that you simply do not know, you don't know what you're dealing with. When I first met Manning, when he became Prime Minister, up at the Twin Towers, the office was there, after the coup and in 1991, I wrote him a letter stating, among other things, that Laventille will be an active participant in any future upheaval in Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore the actions that you take now in order to arrest the causative agents must be one of urgent importance. Manning. When I reach up there now, the chairman of the organization, MLIO, was Mr. Noel John. He has died now, but he's a lawyer. You know what Manning turned and say? And Songin, but I don't think he would have surpassed what I'm hearing recently from certain elements within my own organization in terms of the coalition of interests and persons who hold offices in this country. You know what Manning said? Manning said, Mr. Smith, I don't respond to letters like these, you know, because it is accurate, because I say that if there is any upheaval in this country, Laventille will be an active participant. And he turned and tell me he don't respond to letters like that. So in my head, I said, well, if that is so, why doing here? You understand? If what you're saying is so, why doing here? So I knew that he wanted to meet and let us trash it out, let us find out why and so. But the history is clear. And why that is so. Whether it be the 1970 uprising or the 1990 coup, Laventille has been an active participant in the whole process. Why? You see, I've always argued that Laventille is not blasted Guayari, Rio Claro, or some out country resident or village. It is on the outskirts, or in fact inside of and form part of the capital city, the main thoroughfare and administrative center and commercial entity of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, if a fellow wants to do something, there are sufficient underground channels, canals, drains, crossing or emptying in the dry river, and all of that. During the period of the disturbance with the pan and clash, that is how they used to operate. They used the drains and so on to get to do their malicious acts. And I mean, some of them have died, but I could bring people who will witness that, who have witnessed that. So when the police, we just laugh when the police saying they're down at the bus terminus, down at South Key, searching people for knives and so on. That time, fellas walking down the underground drains and so on and coming in town with a knife and the gun or whatever it is and so on. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. And to have these people disgruntled in the way that the PNM has the capacity to make them angry. I remember one day I was involved when Robinson had to go up to the hills at St. Babs, and credible police information reached him. He had to postpone that because they're waiting for him up there. I know that. I know all of that. But yet still recently, a man could tell me that the security forces waited for them. No, it's better you generate prophylactic or preventive. And that is what the program that was proposed or is proposed intends to do. I told Manning, listen, you have YTEP, Yapa, Yap, MyLap, MyTap, etc. Put all under one heading. Because the youth that you want to capture in this program don't come to those programs. Because they have been conditioned to be afraid of officialdom, so they ain't going to know air-conditioned building or office anyway. But secondly, they are tired. They are no clothes for that. So if you have a program inside of the community, it has to address all of those things. That is why I'm talking about multifaceted, multidimensional, and that is what MLIO was all about. Recognizing all of that. Understand that. And therefore, it is critical that you first understand what you are dealing with. And unfortunately, I want to say from what I've seen, that is not the case. That is not the case. Look, when we saw the borderline issue fermenting with the brothers that were the cocaine, let's say, operators in this part of the Lavatil East Port of Spain, the King brothers, you may know about them. Are the biggest house on top of the hill named Paris Boulevard. But we saw that. And the Muslimin were raiding these blocks for coke or whatever it is and so on and saying, of course, that they're trying to clean up the place, etc. But ended up, of course, in the Red House and TDT as persons who are as terrorists, insurrectionists, yes. But they end up there. But they wanted to we knew all of that. We understood all of that. When we saw that in our program, we developed a response to that inside of the program. And I want to say this. No state program could solve that problem with the kind of youths we're talking about. No, they wouldn't come first and foremost, as I say. They don't go to White Up and Yapa and CCC and so on. No, they don't go. In spite of the fact that the guy has stipend. And there's a reason for it. Oh gosh, I have to lecture here for people to understand what we are facing and what is going to happen after this SOE inevitably will have to come to an end. Don't understand?
Just know that now it's 10 past 10, eh?
That's about 10, yeah. I'll finish it now. Let me just wind up. Tomorrow night we'll do a little more. Don't understand what is happening here. When those fellas come out from who have been rounded up all over the place, they are going to be a formidable foe to deal with. No police, no law enforcement agency could deal with that. It has to be an all-of-community approach. As I was saying, let me conclude by saying, when we saw the beginnings or the genesis of this borderline issue, inside of the school, we developed a program, 300 of them, of the worst kind that we are talking about. We're talking about a fella or a girl who either has the potential to gravitate to a life of crime or in fact are engaged in crime. Those are the people that qualify to come into our program. Understand that. Yes, some end up in YTC and so on. I wouldn't say that we are 100% successful, but if we save one of them, and many of them I can tell you we save, who in the police service, who in the army, who on the port, etc. All of that we did. And I want to tell you, when we saw that, we know as young people, their adrenaline will be going, their testosterone and so on will be itching them, boyfriend, girlfriend thing. But we used to orchestrate relations. Let me just take this one before we go. Pleasant good night, welcome.
Lennox, after 10, must say good night to the
new
Minister
say good night because we're going now. We're going now, yeah.
Yeah, Minister of National Security. You need Minister of National Security in the making. Bless you, P. Have a good night and return safe.
Yes, certainly. But let me finally say this. When we saw that borderline issue, we developed a program within And a fella who likes a girl, we used to monitor them. He could like a girl, yes. The girl could like a boy, yes. But none of them must come from the same place. So if a fella is from John John, he has to have a relationship with a girl, let's say in Mova, and vice versa. What that would have done, it means therefore, if a fella from Mova have a girl in John John, he would want to go to John John. And the fella in John John who have a girl in Mova would want to go in Mova. So a natural peace will develop. And a broken down of the invisible borderline would have been realized. But there's much, much, much more. I remember Father Harvey saying, Smith, MLIO is what, something that was planned or something that we followed by accident. And I was so insulted by that statement. Because he's a priest, I didn't use obscenity. But I told him that we studied Ivan Illich. Those of you who have the capacity, go and study Ivan Illich. You will see when he talked about. Ivan Illich is a priest but a sociologist. And you will see that he talked about deschooling theory. The deschooling theory. Just look at that and you will see Ivan Illich. People, we have come to the end of tonight's program. I want to tell you thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to vent, because really and truly is about venting and is about admonishing the government. Please do not go down that rabbit hole again. Right? I'm going to bring the name of the person who plagiarized to and pretend as though it is his program to Kamala Prasad Bisesa when she was Prime Minister in the earlier iteration. And today, MLI is still up there, but the true name is Mova Laventil Initiative, not Making Life Important. They didn't even want to remove the MLI because it was a well-established program already under the former Minister of National Security. I'm talking about Martin Joseph. Yeah, I was the only person who got a copy of it, and he trusts me to give it to me. Not even Marlene McDonald, not even Manning's wife, not even who again was there? Not even Donna Cox, not even Nylon Hippolyte got a copy. The only non-minister was called into the Ministry of National Security to present that draft document, and there are certain mission that we had to undergo, Donna Cox and myself. And after that, imagine look how much years. And they in office for 9 years, and Donna Cox never says, Smith, you know, that scene that Martin Joseph gave us an instruction to do. No, because they're greedy for power, and that they want to come with harebrained ideas and believe that they could use the state resources and apparatus to manifest something that will ultimately fail because they have never tested it. As how the program, the empowerment zone idea that we tested over many years from since 1984 to 2000. That's a long time. And you're telling me I hitched my wagon there to treat with that particular matter and all kinds of harebrained ideas. You don't need all that money that's been spent for those recent brand new toys. I see it as that, because it will not address the problem as the way that the government believes it will. Cannot. It is the community must solve the problem. It's the community must understand its role and responsibility. But there is a need for resources. The same resource that you're given there, it's cheaper to do it by way of the community. Just as how ZOSO would have been. That is why I commend and support ZOSO, because there's a component that is similar to what I'm just describing. Yes, your parting words, my friend. Sorry about that.
You're going good. You're going good. I just want to say this before the night up.
Go ahead.
I hear seeing the PNM saying they're getting no place to keep the convention. Well, they spend $100 and something million to build Balize House. and all can't keep a PNM convention inside there. I want to make sure they have no place to keep the convention. All shouldn't have to come in taxpayers' building and ask for free taxpayer space to keep all the convention. Go and rent somewhere or go in a beach and open public space and keep all the convention. What organization will spend $150-something million to refurbish Balize House and they can't keep a convention in it?
And have a phobia, a fear for the old building that they want to distance themselves from it.
No, and only one public space.
Yeah.
Only one Napa and all these places are all the convention. No convention space all there. That public space, that taxpayer space. That's all have a political private party. Go let them Syrian and them give the public
and why they want closed space and not they could have taken the grandstand in the savannah, but because they don't expect much attendance, so they want a closed space, so it appears as though they have a lot of people. That's what
they could have go in Blue Waters compound. They could have asked for permission from Blue Waters compound.
I suppose that's in the making.
They could have paid for Jack Warner building and had a space in Mokoya Wade, but go and pay.
No, that indoor one too big.
Space.
yeah. That one too big. It's too big.
I want to tell all the listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation, thank you. Thank you so much for locking on and that dedicated support. Nadia and Jay Owlett and Anna Jackman and all of you. Everybody that Nadia say good night to on she message, Mr. COP saying good night to all of you too. And thank you for locking on the Corridor Transformation. I really do appreciate that support that you all give the Corridor Transformation. And all you have to do is to just subscribe and press that notification that anytime the program come on, you all will get that notification. Whether listen we have 150 or 170, all they have to do, please and thanks, all they have to do is just share the program to one of all the family member, one of all their friends, and we will grow the program that way. Be part of it and let us grow the program. Let us do not keep a blind eye to the things that matters in life. Let us stand up for the poor and the needy and the underprivileged. Let us stand up for the vulnerable. Let us speak for the voiceless. Let us do those things. We were created to stand up and condemn all wrong. We was created for that. We was not created to be biased and to be confusionist. We was not created for that. Lennox Smith, thank you.
My friend, that's why I call it doctor. Yes, you can't get away from that. Yes, indeed, people, of course, don't forget, of course, tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, and of course, I think Snipes will be returning tomorrow, and myself. And yes, indeed, we back here, doctor and myself will be here tomorrow night. To continue these and others. Sorry about my original plan that did not work, but the Lord moves in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. You never could tell what has transpired here. Incidentally, people, I lost my phone, so I need some help to get back a phone. All right, but that being as Joshua, you want to come in? Come in quickly.
I know in the morning you all have a big program on the ground report. Yes. Just good night to you. You can't be you have to come and sit down on this program while you're with me too, Josh.
Sometimes come back, have some work to do and think that if I get my plan to work on.
Yeah, you have to work because he has to sit exam next year.
Coincidentally, I lost my phone that you.
Yes, he lost his as well because it was in the car. All right, so that being as it may, so people, of course, have a wonderful one.
You know all that work what you're talking about, Joshua. You know, it have nobody else will benefit from that but you. When you do that, put on that work today, it's only you will benefit from that.
Well said. Good advice, my friend. Good advice. Yes, Messi. So I think we could go out with this one. I think we can make it if we try.
That's a sarcastic one, but we can make it if we try.
Yeah.
That's good night to you, Nigel. Joe, let good night. But that's behave yourself, man. Boss, good night.
It's not just a lot of talk about partnership, it's actual, tangible results. And that is what we're here for, right? I mean, the Prime Minister, much like President Trump, campaigned on economic renewal and security renewal. And those are both really important, critical objectives for both our governments. And so we are delighted to work together. And I am here to show that both sides are reaching out their hands of friendship, and this plan is probably as concrete a symbol of that friendship and that cooperation as can possibly be imagined. But again, let me just underscore that this wouldn't be possible but for the involvement of the private sector. And I just think it's very important for all of us to recognize the vision of Pinnacle and its corporate leadership here today. This is what made America great. It's the dynamism of our private sector that has really been the motor of our economy and our great prosperity over the centuries. And I think it will be going into the future. It's not the government that has made the United States the leader of the free world. It's our dynamic private sector, and I feel very proud as an American to be represented by our